Okay, so we've got the mold box all assembled, as you can see. All 5 boards are in place, right? So next, now you don't need to use mold release with this stuff, and technically you're not even supposed to, but what we've discovered is that it helps it not stick to the boards when you create a small layer of mold release in the boards when you put your mold star in. Alright, so we're going to use some smooth on universal mold release. Alright, and just as you can see, those fumes are kicking up, so we've got our windows open back here, some ventilation going on to help not kill us. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is we've got some previously diced up remains from molds that didn't work anymore, that have been damaged or were just made improperly. And this is the best way that we've found to go about recycling your molds, alright? Because we can't liquefy silicone back to a starting point and then just reuse it. So when it comes to projects like this, we cut up a mold into these chunks and cubes that we add to the mold space to help fill up the negative space around the object, so you need less of your liquid silicone when making the mold, alright? Because silicone has this magical property, or near magical property, of only bonding to silicone, using the old chunks, it will stick to this and close up, and the liquid will fill in the gaps like a liquid will with anything else. Like if you've got a cup with ice cubes in it and you add soda, you know how you get less soda if you add soda to a cup with ice in it? It's the same idea here. So the liquid fills in the space around these and then bonds to this, which also helps strengthen your mold again and lets you fill in the area around the objects to be molded. And in this case, we're talking about the limbs for the Rancor. So I'm going to start by putting in a small layer of these blocks around the base of the mold. Alright, Ash, can you grab the camera and just kind of bring it over for us to get a peek inside of the mold box? Alright, so what you're seeing in there is this layer of the blocks, and we don't want to fill a tight space of it, we just want to fill in enough to create a bottom layer down here, okay? Because ultimately when we're making a mold, especially a mold that's this delicate and this sensitive, we need to make sure that we've given ourselves something to work with, okay? We've got to have a thick enough outer edge so that the mold doesn't collapse under its own weight. And when you're dealing with a mold this size, that is incredibly important. Alright, so now, like I said, I'm not going to smother the bottom layer here, not outright, but we're going to fill in a bunch of the space so that the liquid doesn't have as much work to do, which saves money in the long run. This box of pieces over here is probably about $1,000 worth of leftover silicone chunks, mold star. So every piece that we use helps reduce the amount of cost of new material that we have to use up, right? So it's just a good trick of the trade, a tip to use when you're doing it yourself, or if you're just curious on how all of this goes. And we're getting in here. Try not to have too many pieces piling up on top of each other when you can, because you need the liquid to get between the pieces, okay? And if the pieces are touching too much, then you're just going to trap air and it's not going to go anywhere. And pieces are going to come apart, and we absolutely do not want that to happen. Alright? So there we go. That is our bottom layer all set. And the next stage is we're going to grab ourselves our gigantic mixing bucket. Alright. And we have to put in the equal halves of Mold Star 20T. And then we've got to pour our bottom layer into the mold box. After that, we add the Rancor limbs. Alright. Thanks again for checking this out. We're going to work our way all the way through this, and we want you guys to share in the experience and the fun of what's going on here. So check out the next video as we go to the next stage. We'll see you in a bit.